friends. We are live. Yay! We are doing a live Q&A session. I've got Robert here from Roads of Life.
And I've got Gina LeBenz from Anchor Moments Irv.
Yay! From Anchor Moments RV. Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. And we are here to share some of our best and worst experiences traveling in our vans. Now, Robert and I, we both are traveling in two different Embassy RVs. Robert goes with his lovely wife, Susan, who we have over here, who's going to be letting us know if there's any questions coming from any of you viewing. So Robert and Susan, they drive in this beautiful van. And what have you named your van?
Fred, no. Silver Freedom.
Silver Freedom.
We don't ride together because it would be way too noisy.
Yeah, it would be too noisy. The laughter and stuff.
The
oh my gosh, we'd break the windows.
Yes.
We'd break the windows. And I travel with my handsome husband over here, Jeff, and we travel in an Embassy RV as well. And we have some fun stories now because we have finally been traveling a whole bunch in our Embassy RV. And I need to tell you, Robert.
Uh-oh.
It's your fault.
It's my fault.
Just so you know. It's a lot your fault.
What is my
that we have an Embassy RV?
Oh, that is my fault.
And that we spent a bunch of money
on
an Embassy RV to do this in our retirement. It is this guy's fault because my husband for years tried to talk me into go to do RV tripping, and I told him, "Oh no, I don't like car trips. Let's do something else. I don't want to do that." And he's always wanted to do it. And then the last 10 years or so, when he'd come home from work, he'd start watching on YouTube how to build your own RV out of a van. So he watched a lot of different YouTube channels. And then he watched a Roads of Life one. And he had talked me into where he could build it himself because he's like, it'll be really cheap, Gina. I'll get an old van that doesn't have a lot of miles on it. Maybe some grandma drove it to the grocery store or something. And we'll throw a mattress in the back, and then we can travel. We'll have a nice, fun place to stay. And then he's like, and maybe it could be our beach house on wheels. And I was like, well, beach house? I don't know, maybe. Well, that would be a lot of money. And he was showing me really cheap vans. He thought he could do it for maybe $30,000 or something, all said and done. I'm like, well, maybe. And then he watched a Roads of Life video, and he got stuck on, we need to get a brand new van. We need to get an Embassy RV like Robert's ordering. So we watched every single video that Robert made. I mean, when there'd be a new one, and Jeff would come home from work and he'd be like, "Oh, there's a new Roads of Life video," and we'd be like, "Oh my gosh," and we would watch and see, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? Because he did it during the bad part of that virus, when there was no chips to get new vehicles. So it took how many years for you to get your van after you ordered it?
2 years.
Two full years. And he was doing all kinds of
They didn't even have dip, did they? No chips, no dip.
Yeah, Ford was shut down. They couldn't get any Fords, Transits, or anything. They couldn't get any van. So we had put a deposit down thinking in a couple of months we'd have a van, and it ended up being a couple of years.
It took 2 years.
That's because of the pandemic, not because it takes 2 years.
Right.
And Robert, he is very big into Excel spreadsheets. And
no,
so
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
my gosh.
I don't like Excel. I don't do Microsoft.
Really?
Yeah, that's that PC stuff. It's Apple.
Oh, it's
Apple numbers. Yes.
Apple Sheets or something?
Apple numbers.
I always thought it was Excel.
No, Excel. That sucks.
Oh, man.
I don't know. You can tell when it's Excel because the giant spreadsheet and it never ends.
Oh, okay.
My spreadsheets, I can have spreadsheets all over on a page, all individual and separate.
Wow.
I don't have to have tabs and things.
Well, he's a big time researcher. So for the 2 years while he was waiting for his van to be built, he would do all these videos that would do pros and cons of van life, pros and cons of an Embassy RV versus a different kind of RV. Is it
Just 'cause we
worth
didn't
the
know what we
money?
wanted.
All these things. And so we didn't have to do a lot of research because this guy was doing a ton of it. And Jeff would watch and he'd go, oh, that's really good. Ooh, that has things that we'd really like to have in a van. And then before you know it, we ended up ordering one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it took 18 months before we got
that
ours.
time.
Because at that time, we placed our order on 2/2 of 2022. So it was 2/2/22. So I'll never forget putting that first $250 down payment just to get in the queue to wait for our van to be built. But we both have vans have the same birthday, June 27th. Robert, he got his van on June 27, 2022.
2022, right.
And when he posted a video that he finally picked up his van, Jeff and I, seriously, we jumped up off our couches and we gave him a standing ovation and cheered. We were so excited he finally got his van. And then we got ours exactly 1 year later on June 27th, 2023.
Yep.
Now the big questions are that I had, now that we've been traveling in our Embassy RVs for a while and had made that investment, had the long wait to get ours, where everybody else, I don't know, just takes a couple months, 2, 3, 4 months, and you place your order and you get it, because now they can get the vans. And so it's a lot easier for them to put them together. But for us, it was a long time because of the chip shortage back in the day. But was it worth the wait? And I want to know one of your favorite trips you've gone on so far.
My favorite trip. Oh my Lord. Hello. How are you doing? Yes. My favorite trips. Well, we went to Europe once and that was really good. Oh, you mean on the RV?
In the RV.
Oh, in the RV.
In the RV. I mean, it was a long wait. It was a 2-year wait. Was it worth the wait?
Yes.
Traveling in your vehicle?
Yes. And by the way, yes.
Yeah.
So really the very, very first trip we did when we picked up the van, we went from Elkhart all the way to Colorado to see family. And it was a big family reunion thingy.
Oh.
So that was good. So, and that let us do that. And we didn't have to stay in their house because there was a lot of family. We got to stay in our RV. So
that's pretty handy.
That was a nice thing. And then,
did you have to plug into their house and, use their electricity with your van?
I don't remember. Did we plug into the house once?
Oh, one time. Okay.
Did we plug into the house?
Yes, one time we plugged into the house.
One time we plugged in.
Okay, so just one night, one day.
One. Yeah, we did it. I don't remember. It was just a big pain, so we would just run the engine and bring the batteries back up.
Oh, okay.
Much easier.
Okay.
So.
Because we haven't done that yet. What our experience has been, we drive far enough that our battery life will last a few days of doing the air conditioner, and then we drive again. So, which recharges our lithium batteries. So we've stayed and mooch docked at a few different family members and friends' homes, and we have not had to plug in. All I have to ask for is, can you please give us a driveway that we can pull into, and we'll even sleep in our van. You don't even have to wash the sheets.
Well, that's the big advantage is it's 30 amp hookup. So if you're at an RV park or something, there's 30 amp. You can buy an adapter. So if the 30 amp doesn't work, you can plug in the 50 amp and it will go down to 30 amp to plug in. If you're not in that, you're at your house or you're at somebody else's house, you can go down to the 110, 115 from a regular plug as long as you have the adapter.
As long as you have an adapter.
It will take longer, of course, to charge on a wall, household current, but it'll still do
It still can do it.
Yeah. And if you're in a very hot and humid area,
it's very hot and humid today. So if you see I've redone my ponytail twice.
It's not
it is so humid.
It's not sweat. It's just the humidity condensing onto.
Yeah.
We don't have sweat.
It's pretty humid here in Houston today.
Dense water from the air.
Yeah.
Then your AC is only going to last you about a day and a half, 2 days because it's fighting the humidity.
Yeah.
But if you're in a dry climate, even when it's really hot, you should be fine. It should last 3 or 4 days. I don't know. You're in Arizona. How long does it last for you?
Well, see, we had kind of a sad thing happen to us.
Oh.
I know, darn it. But we did have a sad thing happen to us. So even though we've had our van, it'll be 2 years in, I don't know, 3 months, 3-4 months from now when it's June, April, May, June, in 2 more months. Okay. It'll be 2 years and 2 more months. So we're almost 2 years. But a few months after we got our van, we got a bad surprise, and Jeff ended up having bladder cancer, and he'd never been sick ever. And so he went from being super healthy to cancer. And so he had a couple of surgeries. And then as soon as he was good to hit the road, I ended up having some weird cells and bleeding, and I ended up with a hysterectomy. And then we had to wait for me to get healthy. So we had actually one solid year from November of 23. And remember, we just got our van June 27th of 23 to October of 24, where we couldn't travel. But now we are traveling like crazy. We took a big long road trip in October that was 4 weeks long. We had a blast, and we've been traveling now since February 18th, and today's April 2nd. So it's been a big long trip again. And I want to tell you, so much fun, so much fun. But I haven't traveled really in the summer. We have
Traveled when we took it back from Elkhart.
Oh, that's true.
And
We did travel when we took it back
when
from
we took it back from Elkhart, there were some long days of driving, and then the air conditioner ran fine off of the lithium batteries all night long.
Fighting humidity, you're fine.
Yeah.
And that's with any RV. That's not just this RV. And now that they have the new AC system that goes on the roof, if you want to spend money on that, you won't be stealth. But if you want to do that one, that's supposed to be even more efficient, except that that's because it's a 120 system, not a 12 volt.
Oh, okay.
So
That's why that one's better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, if you look at your air conditioner at home, you're what, 240 volt? Is that right? Or something like that. Yeah, I think it's 240.
Okay.
And then we're just 12 volt. We're off the battery. So ours is not going to be quite as, I mean, it's efficient and does a good job. It's just humidity is its kind of weak point.
Right. And we did okay driving home from Elkhart. That was in the summer. That is true. But we had to hurry to get home because Jeff was still working.
Summer?
Oh, we have a lot of summer.
Yeah,
we have a lot of
like
summer.
12 months?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It's a lot of summer in Arizona. Yeah, kind of. We don't get snow unless you go up north in the mountains.
Well, there you go. So you've traveled in the summer.
There you go.
Just by staying at home.
All right. And it's actually been okay. But yeah, you're right. When there's no humidity, it cools off so fast.
Now, some vans, though, they have solar panels on top. We don't. No. So they have to actually park in the sun to get recharged or be in the sun.
Solar panels are fine to get trickle energy and stuff. But if you're in the sun and you're in a metal box, then you're running your AC that much longer just to get the inside of the area.
We look for shade.
Yeah, I much prefer the second alternator, which is what we use to charge. So you just run the motor, the transit engine, and then it charges up the battery.
Oh, sure, and you can do that, while you're sitting.
Yeah,
just driving.
We had the old Balmar alternator, and that one stunk. That one took forever to charge, and it started making all these noises. And we thought it was like a fan belt or something, but it was the Balmar. And when we took it up there, we said, oh no, that's what it is. We need to bring it up to the Nations, which is what all they use now. And the Nations is just, it takes like 1/3 the time to charge.
Yeah, it's pretty darn fast.
And literally, we would have had to travel, I think I figured out, we would have had to have driven an extra 100 miles in the Balmar to get the Nations, what the Nations can do in 100 miles less. So that's basically from almost nothing all the way to charge. So it's like, Nation's so much better. So
we just got done. We spent 4 nights at Gulf Shore State Park in Alabama. Oh my gosh, highly recommend. That's one of my favorite places I think that I've stayed so far. It's really close to the Gulf. They give you a parking pass, so you can go to the pavilion, which has a huge parking lot, and you can park there for free and just walk onto the Gulf. It's just so beautiful. And the sandy beaches are it's a powdery white sand, very soft on your feet, the waves crashing. Oh my gosh, so beautiful.
Did you like the beach?
I loved the beach.
I'm assuming this
also-
is like your favorite.
This is my favorite. So my best trip was to Gulf Shore State Park. We spent 4 nights there. Our battery power worked great for the 4 nights running, and we ran the air conditioner because it was warm and it was a little bit humid, not too bad, but we did run the air conditioner for 4 days.
How many
loved
nights
it.
were you going to stay?
4 nights. We were going to stay 1 night.
And then what happened?
Oh my gosh. They also have a big swimming pool that is heated and it's giant and beautiful. And oh my gosh. And they had a bunch of paths and trails that were just so fun. I talked Jeff into doing a second night.
And then what happened?
And then there was weather. Then there was some bad weather where we were going to drive through. And so we ended up staying 2 additional nights, but it was fun. I didn't mind it at all.
Weather. It was just rain, and Arizonians don't understand what rain is.
But it was a lot of rain, like in Baton Rouge.
So you told me
they had
how many
4
inches of rain do you
inches
get?
of rain overnight.
How many inches of rain do you get a year?
We
in
get
Arizona?
7 to 9 inches in a year,
Yeah, we
and it's
call
a
that
good year
Monday.
to get 9. And we don't always get our full
We
7.
call that Monday.
In Houston?
Anywhere in the universe except for apparently Arizona.
Yeah, and then there was also so the first night that we did an extra night, there was 4 inches of rain in Baton Rouge, which we were going to go through Louisiana on our way back home because we're starting to head back home after this long trip, and we were glad that we spent an additional night at Gulf Shore State Park, and then because of the rain, and then the next day and flooding, and then the next day there was tornado warnings that were
tornado season. You're supposed to have those.
Yeah, an hour
Tornado
north.
season without it.
Yeah, and they had touchdowns.
Uh-huh.
They had some tornadoes touch down in Alabama and Mississippi, but not where we were at Gulf Shore State Park. They didn't even have, a warning there.
So
So
we
it was
just
really
checked the
nice.
radar, and it was
Yeah.
very helpful to avoid
Okay.
bad weather.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? It did rain, and I'll tell you, there is nothing like hanging out in the van with the windows open and listening to the rain and seeing how beautiful and green it is outside your windows, and like playing cards or just, hanging out and
Having
having
a beer.
fun. Yeah, having a beer. Just
Well,
it was fun. Very
yeah.
relaxing.
What we do is we have a weather stone.
A weather stone.
A weather stone, yeah. You take the stone and you stick it outside the van. If it gets wet,
Uh-huh.
look at that means it's raining. And if you stick it out and you can't find it, that means there's fog.
Oh, all right.
And if
And there was
stick
fog
it out
one
and,
morning.
and there's
yeah.
nothing there, it looks fine, then you can drive. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So if you can see your rock, you're good
Then
to
you're
go.
fine. Yeah.
Then you're
That's
fine.
how that works.
I like that rock trick. There you go. You heard it first from Rob.
It's very localized.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
It works real
And
well.
everyone can afford it.
Yeah.
Just
Anyone
pick
can
one
afford
up.
it, yeah.
Pick one up, and there you go.
Any weather rock will do.
Yeah. Another fun place that we stayed that we really loved is
What?
we stayed at Myrtle Beach State Park. Also fantastic, and also very close to the ocean, that you could walk to the ocean, be on the Gulf. Beautiful park, lots of fun, very clean bathrooms and things there. Loved that place too.
So don't beat around the bush. Is there anywhere you actually like to go?
Is there anything other places?
No, just
Oh. Yeah. Well, I will put a plug. The Hume Hilarity House. The Hume HH, the Hume Hilarity House, has been one of our favorite mooch docking spots.
We're humor.
Yes, the humorous. Yeah. We actually stayed at Robert's house on the way to Florida and North Carolina, and we're back again because we
They
needed
just
more.
can't get rid of us.
Yeah.
It's because we gave you food.
Yes.
Yeah.
You start giving them food, then they keep coming back. It's like the
Yeah.
alligators.
Yeah. Oh, which we did see alligators. Okay. Another fun trip. I'm going to tell you, I have it on. Yes, he doesn't want to go there. He doesn't want me to tell his wife.
You don't like
he doesn't want me to go
alligators?
there. But there was a really fun harvest host. It's in Louisiana near Lafayette, and it's called Champagne. It looks like champagne, but it's Champagne Cajun Swamp Tours. Oh, so fun. We did that this morning. We saw a bunch of live alligators just inches from our boat. We saw big, beautiful birds, the trees in the swamps and stuff. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. It was so awesome. And it wasn't very expensive either. You know, if you're watching this video 10 years from now, I don't know, the prices may be higher, but slightly higher. But if you pay with cash, it was just 25 bucks a person. And I tell you what, it was like nothing we've ever done before. And I wanted to stay at the swamp tour on the way to Florida and North Carolina on this trip. And Jeff said, alligators? No way. We are not going to that. I do not want to be around alligators. That sounds dangerous. Nope, not interested. But I've been pushing Jeff a little bit.
You've been waiting to twist my arm until I was tired.
Yes. And I've been making him do a bunch of things that he normally would not do. And the most fun we have is when Jeff's pushing his limits a little bit, because those are the best adventures.
You're pushing my limits right now.
Yeah. So on the way home, we were going through Louisiana, and he said, "Okay, Gina, we can do the swamp tour." And I was like, "Yay!" And I have on video, we're going to be doing a video review of this one, but I have him on video in the boat going like this and telling me, "Yes, Cheetah, this was so much fun. You were right." And because it was a hoot and hollering good time. And when you stay at a Harvest Host, you get to stay for free. They just ask that you do something with the business that you're staying at. Right. So if you're staying at a winery, you buy wine. If you're staying at a brewery, you buy some beer.
It's a hardship, but someone has to do it.
Exactly. Yes. If you're staying in a museum parking lot, you go see the museum. And if you're staying at a swamp tour, you get the swamp tour. And it was awesome.
What was your favorite place?
I love putting her on spot.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I had my worst experiences.
Oh wait, we'll do worst too.
You had worst okay.
Oh yeah, what's your worst
What was your
experience?
worst experience,
So,
Ms. Hume?
lessons learned when you're at the Cracker Barrel is make sure they're not remodeling the kitchens, because they do that at night. And so you're parked there in the night, and you've got all these construction workers installing new stoves, new refrigerators. And it just feels kind of weird having people in black hoodies walking around your van or behind you or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They weren't making a lot of noise or whatever, but you know, they had a job to do. And
Yeah.
so lesson learned is find out if the Cracker Barrel's under construction or remodel.
Yeah.
Another lesson learned is when we stayed in Georgia at a friend's house, we found out the hard way she lives on a very steep incline, not for comfortable stuff.
Oh yeah, it's not very comfortable. Her driveway is basically this way.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be a little hard.
And then the street itself does the same kind of thing, so it was no place really to park. So,
So your
else?
blankets are falling down by your ankles.
Yeah. Well, actually, the bed is side to side.
Oh,
right.
that's right. But you have the different version of the dolphin. You have the Dolphin SL.
We have the bed in the back, so
Okay.
right. So I would roll out if I did that. So,
Okay.
and I slept in the van because she had cats, and I'm
Oh.
very allergic to cats. So it was all right because I could be at an angle, so I wouldn't roll out of the bed. But you're basically at that angle.
Oh, so
Wow.
that'd be a little rough.
So that wasn't too wonderful. But there was the one Harvest House we decided not to stay at.
Right?
Oh,
I
which
can-
one was that?
It was
It was in Savannah.
and basically it did not look like the best part of town because every single window, including the place we were, had bars on it.
Ooh.
And then when you went to the place, there was no level. There was also everything was at an angle, so there was no level parking spot at all. So that didn't work out too well.
No, that would be a good
So we just didn't go
experience.
there. But there was another Harvest Host in Savannah that we had stayed at, and they let us stay for a couple of days. They just stay as long as you want. They didn't ask us to buy anything or anything. It's like stay as long as you want. It was a bar and a restaurant, and we ate there anyway.
sure.
But yeah, it's not like we drink a lot or eat a lot, so it wasn't like they were good. Stay another 3 or 4 days. We'll have to buy more food for everybody. But still, they were perfectly fine with it.
Wow, you know what? That's really great advice right there. I can tell you, I have my worst experience, and that was when we were traveling in the fall. We met up with some family members, and I loved meeting up with the family members. We were in Grand Island.
Grand Island.
Grand Island, Nebraska. And we went to a bar in the downtown. It was the bar's last night of being open, and they had a huge Halloween party. That part was a blast. It was a blast hanging out with Jeff LeBen's relatives. It was so much fun. The live music was fantastic. It was one of his relatives' in-laws that was the main event and so it was just crazy fun. But we didn't know we were going to spend the night. And we asked, where do we go from here? Should we spend the night in downtown Grand Rapids or
Grand Island?
I'm sorry, in downtown Grand Island, or is there like a Walmart or something? We hadn't stayed at a Walmart before. And they said, yes, there is, there are 2 Walmarts. One Walmart, you definitely don't want to stay in that parking lot
By
because
the
it's
way,
kind
you
of in a sketchy
forgot to
area.
mention this was Halloween.
And it was Halloween night. So we closed the bar. So much fun. And then we went outside to the street, and it was just barren. Everybody was gone. And Jeff was like, I don't know if I want to stay here. Let's go check out those Walmarts. So I was like, okay. Well, we knew one we weren't going to check out because they told us, don't stay there. That would be kind of in a not in a good area of town. You don't want to go there. So it's like, okay. But there was one closer to the freeway or something. So we went to that one thinking, well, that would be all right. We arrived just a couple of minutes before they closed, and the parking lot was fairly empty. There were no other RVs in that parking lot, but there were a bunch of teenagers in matching black hoodies that were hanging out in the parking lot. And we're like, So we go into the store. We use the restroom. Jeff always buys something, even if it's gum. We always buy something at every place that we stay at for free. And we go back out because now Walmart is 100% closed. And those teenagers, they aren't leaving. They are just hanging out in their black hoodies, hanging out there. There was a good, 6, 7, 8 of them. And I'm like,
it might have been just a post-Halloween fun time, whatever.
Yeah, it could have been. But I was like, there is no way, Jeff. There is absolutely no way I'm going to stay here. And he's like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, you know what? I think I even liked downtown better. So then we drove back to downtown. We sat in the front seats and with the windows open, and we just sat for about 45 minutes, played with our phones and looked around. There was nobody. 2 different times in that 45 minutes, a police car drove by, and we're like, you know what? This seems to be much better. And then I felt better. And then we closed up shop and we slept in the back, and it was fine.
And there were train tracks right nearby.
Yeah, there were train tracks.
And we were
close.
wondering, is it going to be really loud? But you know what? We really like the sound of trains.
We do. We do.
We do. And did we hear any that night?
I can't remember.
I don't think we did. No.
I can't remember. I just remember that I felt safer. So it's real important to use your intuition.
Right.
And
check it out.
Check it out. And if it doesn't feel right, get out.
Right.
Get out. Drive an extra hour if you need to, but don't stay if it doesn't feel right. And it was Halloween, and it felt very creepy in that one Walmart. And we have stayed at 2 different Walmarts now that were both wonderful, that were very clean, and it was a nice big parking lot. And there were a couple other RVers also spending the night.
And didn't we also talk to them first and make sure it was okay?
We always ask the manager to let them know, because you don't want to get that knock in the middle of the night, because that also would be a bad experience. And
in large cities, there's usually a law that says Walmarts are not allowed to have overnight. There's no Walmart here in Houston you can have overnight. It's against the law.
Yeah. And you know what? There was a lot of Walmarts in Florida that also had the, you weren't allowed to stay in a Walmart.
City ordinance.
Yeah. But there were a lot of, it really surprised me. There were a lot of Cracker Barrels in Florida that you could spend the night at. And it was March when Jeff and I were in Florida, spring break time, when we thought it'd be really busy and we were worried. for the nights that we didn't have a plan, we'll be able to find a place to stay in Florida, but we would just stay at Cracker Barrels at those.
And they had
times.
marked overnight RV parking.
Mhm. Yeah, and we ate either dinner or breakfast, and we did talk to the managers.
What is this? No plan of which you speak. I don't know what that
Yeah, I know. We are
is. That?
we are
I have no idea what that
we are two different couples traveling, but we are way different. Robert had told me that he had, when we first came here,
Turn
and
around,
stayed
Gina.
at the Robert H.
Turn around. She flies by the seat of her pants. Okay, great.
I
Okay.
do. I do fly by the seat of my pants. So Jeff and I, we just wing it. And if the weather's bad, then we'll stay someplace an extra day, and not put the miles.
We check it out
late, and
before we
check it
travel.
out. Yeah. But we do a lot of flying by the seat of our pants. Our friends or family that we're going to stay and visit, we let them know we think we might be coming around this date or this date. We'll let you know in the morning if we're going to, hit it, or the night before if we know for sure that's where we're headed. So
we're slightly different.
yeah,
Slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can tell you to the minute where we're going to be.
to the minute.
Yeah. to the
I remember asking Robert, "Hey, you just came back from Florida? I know you're really into your
This is
spreadsheets
a
and
true
stuff.
story.
Do you have a spreadsheet of where you
Do I have a
stayed
spreadsheet?
and, and places that you liked?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can find you a spreadsheet that I did." He gave it to me. I laughed so hard. I almost peed my pants. I mean,
She's
seriously,
laughing at
it was
me.
so
This is what it is.
funny.
She's laughing
I mean,
at me.
it had
Only because it
one
was
day
funny.
they're leaving
Yeah.
at 11:45. 11:45, not 11:30,
No.
not 11,
11:45.
not noon. At 11:45.
Wait, I
11:45.
think it said 11:47.
No,
It
it
might-
was 11:45. It was 15 minutes to get somewhere. And we had to be there at noon. So we leave 11:45 is noon. What's the problem? It makes total
yeah.
sense.
But every day, some days he'd leave at 9, some days he'd leave at 7, some days he'd
Depends how
leave at
far we're
noon.
driving.
But they were all varied, his times, but he knew what time each day, where exactly he was going to stay, what he was going to visit and do, because there'd be a things to do list for each of those places. Very researched.
Well, yeah. Well, you see, that's the nice thing. If you have it all researched, then you know what there is to do there. And if something wrong happens and you can't do a thing, you can do another thing.
Yes.
So, and that has happened to us a couple of times where we were
Yeah.
going to do a next thing and then they were closed after all, and
Right.
go do another X thing. So,
Or that Cracker Barrel's redoing their kitchen.
and we plan it very well because I have a certain spouse who shall remain nameless.
Miss Susan.
I didn't name her. I'm not saying who it was, just a spouse that I have, a spousal unit
Yes.
who wants to know exactly where we're going to be sleeping at night. I keep telling her in the van, but she wants a little bit more detail.
Yeah. And I have a spouse that likes to drive until he's tired. And then when he's tired, he's like, "Okay, I think I got about an hour left in me. What's around?" And then I play with my apps, my Harvest Host app and my RV Parky app, what's around, what's available. And there's always something.
Serendipity.
Serendipity. And then if we're really having a good time somewhere like Gulf Shores State Park, oh my gosh, we were just going to do the one night.
And you did.
And we did 4.
They
And it
knew
was
us
a
at the front
blast.
desk.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's about 9 o'clock. The Labenza should
Yeah,
be coming back, asking for one more
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd still be there right now if I didn't have some place to go.
You don't have anywhere to go. You're in an RV. You can stay as long as you
Oh,
want.
I know. Actually, but I'm missing my grandson, and I got an event on Tuesday that I'm supposed to be in charge of.
Oh.
So yeah, so I have to be home. I have to be in Arizona on Tuesday for sure.
Oh,
So that's why I'm having to
so
figure it
we're
out.
not kicking you out. Just you
No,
need to be somewhere.
no. And they offered us really fun stuff that we could do too if we could stay here more days. And I would. And Jeff also has to do taxes. And that's the 15th of
There's
April.
only 2 things that are required in life, I hear.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're not sure about death.
That's
One of them
right.
is
So the bad things are sometimes it's not the great place to stay.
Right.
Or we did have one trip where we were driving, what was that, Fort something or other? And then ended up all being closed. Remember? There was some
First territorial capital
First-
of Kansas.
first territorial capital of Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's on a army base.
Wow.
So you have to if you go one way into the Army base, they go, no, you can't come in here. You have to have a pass to go through and so you have to come all the way back around. We have to go all the way down to the other side and go to that. And you park and you get your pass there. And you go in, and no one knew what we were talking about. We finally found it, and it was closed.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a bummer too.
Yep, October through April. So
Yeah.
if you go anywhere and you decide, seat of your pants is nice, but if you want to go to museums, a lot of museums are closed on Monday. So
Yeah,
or Sunday
that is
and
true.
Monday. So
That
you
is
have to
true.
go work around that.
Yeah.
And some places, like this one place, they were closed in winter. It was Kansas. It got cold and snowy. So they literally closed in October and didn't open until April or May,
Wow.
whatever it was. So, and there's a lot of places up north that they're only open seasonally. So you have to know that kind of, so I do all that kind of research and I screwed up
That's
that
good
one. But anyway, you
It
can't be
happens.
perfect. You can't
It
bat
happens.
1,000.
Yeah. But the nice, there's always backup. So what Jeff and I have discovered while we're flying by the seat of our pants is Love's truck stops. Oh my gosh, I love Love's, and so does Jeff. That they're a great place to be able to stay, and not all Cracker Barrels can have you because of city ordinances and stuff, but a bunch of them can.
Not all Loves are open 24 hours too, but a lot of
That's
them.
true.
A lot of
If it's
them
a
are.
teeny
A lot of them
tiny
are.
one,
If it's a tiny
It's
one,
not-
it won't even
it
have a
won't.
place.
it won't. You need
But
a big Love's truck.
a lot
stop.
of Loves will also have showers.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And that was $15. I don't know if it's still $15, but full shower, so you can all go in there, do your showers and all that kind of brush your teeth, do all that, whatever. As long as you want to be in there, you're in there. As soon as you leave, it locks behind you, so you wouldn't be able to get back in. But
Which is also a good thing about Love's. But I will tell you, Jeff and I, this trip, we got a Planet Fitness membership, and it's awesome. This is 2025, so the prices might be up later. But in 2025, it is $25 to have their Black Card membership, and that means you can use any Planet Fitness across America for $25 a month. And you can bring one guest for free. So Jeff's always my guest. And
I'm glad.
and everyone that we've gone to so far has had showers there. So we can work out and get a really nice hot shower for free. And the ones that are open 24 hours, you might be able to spend some time in the parking lot sleeping too, if they have a good enough space. You still need to kind of check out the area though, and use your spidey senses to see if your intuition, is this a good, safe place to stay or not? And it's always good to talk to the staff, wherever it is that you're staying at.
another good one is America the Beautiful Pass. So if you're 62 or older,
Like
Which
me.
I'm not,
you
but
get a
Yeah.
you can buy a lifetime pass for what it usually costs for 1 year for people below 62. And you can always have it. Whoever's in your van with you, they get in with you, up to 4 people or something.
something like that.
Something like that.
Do you know, even
So
national
one person-
landmarks?
One person needs to
Yeah.
pass. So I have the pass. Apparently Jeff has. the
Jeff
pass.
has the pass.
So Susan doesn't need a pass. Now, if I buy it,
Mhm.
or she kicks me out finally or whatever, then she would have to buy her own pass. But other than that,
Yeah, and it's great. Jeff and I, we went to St. Augustine, which was another fun trip. I got to stay at my old college roommate's
Oh, wow.
house in Mooch in St. Augustine, Florida. I had so much fun with Amy. She was a blast. She showed us around, and we went to one of the forts there in St. Augustine, and it was a national landmark. We thought only Jeff would be free, and it was $15 a person to get in. So it
Right.
would have been $60 for the
Right.
4 of us. And they asked Jeff, how many people in your party? And he said 3. And she said, okay.
you're in.
And we're like, we're
Yeah.
all free. Yep. And so we saved, or not 60 because it was 3 of us, $45 for the 3 of us, but it was free because of Jeff's pass.
Right.
So it's a really good deal. Some state
Good deal.
parks will honor it, not all. And some COE, corporate
Corps of
and
Engineers.
Corps of Engineer camps will honor it. And some of them will give you 50% off camping. So it's great. We stayed at Twin Lakes camp that was a COE camp.
Georgia?
And it was either in Georgia or South
South
Carolina,
Carolina.
right next to Georgia. It was on the way to visit my dad. And it was cheap. It was like $19 for the night. And we were backed up to the lake. It was beautiful. Beautiful campground, and $19. You can hardly beat that. And they had showers and stuff too.
Is this the trip you got the bug wall?
And this was the trip we got the bug wall. Hey, I'm glad you mentioned the bug wall. So we went to South Carolina where you can get the bug wall screens, and they are the best bug wall screens.
All right, let's go get a bug wall.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to show you a bug wall screen.
By the way, we don't get paid for any of this.
No, we're
If
not
anyone would like to
sponsored by
pay us
bug
for
wall.
this, it'll be one for you. There's
There it is.
bug wall, and it's a mosquito screen.
Yep. And there's our van down here. And we also have bug wall mosquito screens. We just got them on this trip.
Yeah. So ours has the big space, so we have the bug wall. This is, I don't know if does
And
yours,
you- and
is
we did
yours is
them-
the magnet or not.
We did
Yes.
the magnet
All right, so
too.
yeah, you can get a zipper or a magnet, and you can get it cut over on this side or in the middle or to the right.
And yours
Right.
makes sense to have it right there because of where your steps are.
Right.
And
'cause our
how big
steps are
the
right
opening
here,
is.
and then your opening's larger, the steps or not?
No, I think it's exactly
You-
that
you've got-
I think
opening.
it's
You've
the
got a-
same.
You've got a chair thing.
Right, we have a
Yeah.
couch right there. Uh-huh.
You've got the two sofas here, and we have the one
Right.
smaller sofa bed, and then we've got our bed in the back. So ours is, it's more open in this area.
You want to go see ours?
Sure.
We'll
We
go
can-
run.
We'll walk over with Robert here.
We'll hop,
We'll
skip,
play
and jump.
Little show and tell. Now, Robert's van, he can sleep 4 people in his Embassy RV Dolphin SL. We're the Embassy RV Dolphin S, and we only can sleep 2. So it's a different configuration. And if you hear anything going,
Turn your head this way.
we've been running our air conditioner right now, so hopefully you can still hear us. Oh, it's locked, yeah.
Should I unlock it?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
And you can see our screens too.
Oh, I sure hope I have my keys in the pocket. There we go.
There it goes.
And we also have the bug wall screen with the magnets.
Oh, okay, so yours is the same. It's just that you have the
Right,
the
the couch right there.
couch thing right
Oh.
here, and then
And we love it. So if you look up in here, I'll let you do a little look-see inside.
You want me to go
We
in?
like to keep our SL as
S.
RS Dolphin S. We like to keep our beds always made. It's set up that you can have them as couches, and then you can turn your couches into beds. But we're a little lazy. We like to leave our beds always up, so that way, if we want to take a quick nap when traveling, we can just crawl into bed and we're set.
You're not mentioning the most important part in the middle.
Oh, what's that?
In the middle.
In the middle.
in the middle.
In the middle between the two beds. What's in the middle between the two beds?
Oh, an aisle to the bathroom. I'm like, I thought maybe he had a surprise for me.
Maybe you don't. You,
I'm like, whoa! You surprised me with the gift.
you
We
use
just
that
had our
every time that
anniversary.
you go to the bathroom in the middle of
Yes.
the night.
We like to keep it
Yeah.
so there's an aisle.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
also, with the Dolphin S, you can make it as one big bed. And then it's about a queen size bed. So you can make it up that way. But there's no hallway to get to the bathroom. So you got to kind of crawl over each other to get to the bathroom.
And so,
But we're old, so we're like, nah, we'd rather have the hallway.
so in ours, we have the bed in the back, which is going from side to side, not front to back. So we sleep side to side. So if I need to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, I have to climb over
This beautiful lady.
that woman right there. And if she's doing what she usually does, then I'll be climbing over that little lady right down there.
Oh, little
Because a
Sherry.
certain person lets the dog up onto the bed. Not that I did her, but you know.
But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's a lot
so
of fun,
we
yeah.
have to climb over each other to get to the bathroom. So you have a hallway.
Yeah,
But
we got
can
a hallway.
sleep 4 because we can do 2 in our front bed, and then our sofa turns into the bed. So we
Yeah.
can sleep 2 in that one.
Yeah, so one day when you have grandkids, you can take grandkids with you, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I'll be old and dead by then.
No,
I'm
no, you
old.
won't. No, you won't.
I'm old.
But anyway, and that's our scoop there. Oh, but the reason I was so excited that you brought up the bug wall is because I have a special gift for the cool kids.
We have a special gift for the
The cool kids, yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
for cool kids. And you and Susan, pretty cool kids. So I have got for you, you can't get them just anywhere. You have to know somebody. What? Whoa, look at that. So I got 2 of these for you. You've
Those are
got bug
cozy.
wall cozies. So you can take this to the embassy meetups and you'll be the cool kids who have the bug wall cozies. And I brought you some bug wall stickers. Woo. As a special gift for letting us stay here tonight.
Thank you, Dutch.
Again.
Sherry is saying something about sound. Are we not getting sound, everyone?
Uh-oh. Can you not hear us?
Can you hear
I know
us
it's
now?
windy.
It is windy.
Can you hear us now, I hope? So we got bug walls, just in case you missed that. And then we apparently have bug wall stickers.
And bug wall stickers. Hey!
Because we're the cool kids.
Because we're the cool kids. And our beers will be nice
Let
and
us know if you can hear
cool.
us.
Or refreshments. They can
Yeah,
be,
or refreshments.
they don't have to be a
Put it-
beer.
You could put water or Diet Pop bottle in there. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Say hello, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
Say hello, Susan.
Susan.
Say hello, Sherry.
Kaz the
Hey, hello,
bulldog,
Oh,
mom
Does she have a
says,
question?
hi, hello, missed.
Say hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
I thought you were home already and miss you guys.
Oh, miss you too. We're not home yet. We're just having too much fun. Can I say one of the best things about, oh wait, she says something. We heard about the bug walls.
Oh, yes, okay. So
Oh,
we did
good,
hear.
good, good.
My voice went out for a minute. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm glad he's back.
Oh,
I
hello,
want-
Susan. She says hello, Susan.
Yay.
And
We're
Deborah
live on
says,
both channels, same time.
Yes, we're live
So,
on
yeah.
both channels.
And he's using AT&T and we're using Verizon. So we'll see which one had the
it's the
best
battle of the
battle of the
5G All-Stars
Yeah.
or something.
They have some weird phone. It's not an Apple phone, so I don't know.
That's true. That's true. Jeff's is a Samsung phone and yours is an Apple
Apple.
phone. Yeah,
Yes.
it's an iPhone.
I've heard of those.
Older iPhone.
Named after a fruit. They're just, you know,
I'm kind
sweet
of
little.
fruity.
Yeah.
I admit.
Deborah says, got to run, but nice seeing you all. Those are all the
Yay,
comments.
Hi, Deborah. Yay. Okay.
Any other questions or comments from
Yeah.
anybody?
Any other questions? It could be about
It's about-
traveling in RV. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's going to rain. It's a little cloudy here. Very, very humid.
Well, you're at the Hume household, so it's human.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Good to know. Hume for human.
Any questions? Any Q&As? Any thoughts? Anything you would need us to discuss?
Yeah, because we're here and we'll tell
Any
you
of
the
you-
real deal.
Any of you have any RV traveling experience before buying the Embassy?
No, we literally knew nothing about RVs. As a matter of fact, I did not know what a Class B was. I'd never heard of one.
I didn't either.
My idea of what a RV was a Winnebago Mini Winnie from the 70s.
Wow.
So go look up Winnebago Mini Winnie 1974, or something like that. And that's what I thought all RVs were. And then I heard there were Class A's, which look like buses
Buses.
on steroids. And then this thing called Class B. And Susan
Which
was
are
thinking,
vans.
what do they call it? Fifth wheels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a camper van hooks up to a truck from the front. A fifth wheel hooks up to the bed of the truck. So
And they're
that's the difference.
huge.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
huge.
So that's what she thought.
And
RVs were.
travel trailers were,
Right, travel
they could
trailers.
attach to anything. They won't have to be
It doesn't even be on
attached to a
hitch.
truck.
It's under the hitch in the back.
The
That's what
hitch,
travel trailer
right.
is.
You know, that's why Roads of Life was really the right YouTube channel for us to get sucked into to buy one of these. Is we were watching Robert. He was sort of ish our age and everything, and he'd never had an RV before, and we've
Twice their age.
No. And we've never had an RV before either. So it was kind of fun watching him research all the different kinds of RVs and different Class B van RVs, different brands and things. And Jeff and I, we went to some RV super shows.
Yes.
So we looked at all different kinds because I was trying to talk him into getting one of those cute itty bitty little trailers that you can pull with a car.
Like a pop-up.
Yeah, like a little
Or
pop-up one.
They have
or-
one that pops up like an A-frame.
Yeah, the
I
little
didn't even know what
A-frame
any of
ones.
those
Those
things were
were,
either.
I thought
Oh,
those
never
were
heard
kind of cute. There was another one that looks almost like an egg that you could pull with the
Yeah.
car.
Teardrop.
And a teardrop. Thank you. A
Uh-huh.
teardrop trailer. And those aren't very expensive. So I thought, well, that might be a good way to go. And we'd pull it with our RAV4. But Jeff, he really wanted a van. He thought he could put it together. And then he saw Roads of Life. And then it was over. It was over.
That's why.
It was Embassy.
Yeah, that's why I did all the research, because I started finding all these different things and what's this and what's that and what's a class B and all these different class B. Oh, what does all that mean? And then I heard about this thing called batteries. It's like, oh, it needs a battery. Doesn't the engine have a battery already?
Yeah.
And then I had to learn about batteries. And then I learned about AGM batteries, and I learned about lithium batteries.
Yes.
And toilets. There was a lot of toilet talk. A lot of toilet
How
talk.
long have we been on? We just started toilet talk, so we expect some more to tell us.
Yes.
How long did it take us?
The toilet
Yeah.
talk. Oh,
Eventually-
and you know who else helped us too? We then went to an Embassy RV meetup. And we'd given the $250 just to be in the queue, so someday we could have one built. And we thought, well, it was about time that we had to put down a bigger amount of money for them to really order the van for us. And we thought, wow, before we give them thousands of dollars, we actually need to see and touch one of these.
Right.
So we went to an Embassy meetup.
Right.
And there were a couple of different people that really made the mind up for us. Bob and Deb Scott, they have had all kinds of RVs. They've had different shapes, different sizes, different brands, and Embassy RV was their favorite. Also, we met with, was it Rochelle? Is that her name?
Rochelle?
Yes.
Yes.
Rochelle was very helpful. She let us inside her van, and Rochelle has had other vans. And then
Frank and Sharon.
Frank and Sharon. And
And they talked about how it was for cooking in the van, because
And
we knew
so
we'll have to eat, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then RJ Boyles. He calls himself
Bowl.
Jimmy now. RJ Bowl. He's had numerous kinds of RVs, all different styles and shapes. He's been RVing his whole life. And he said Embassy was the very, very best one he's had so far, his absolute favorite. And so then we were like, okay, people who really know what they're doing, this was their favorite.
And people who don't.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? That's good, because a lot of people don't.
Right.
No.
Well, I mean, I found out about Embassy through Scott Watson, Go Small Live Large.
Yes.
And that kind of sold me, because we were looking at a Heimer something. I can't remember which one it was. It was Heimer, blah, 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 blah. And we were like literally centimeters away from sending the money. And literally that same day or the day after, boom, they went into bankruptcy.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
that.
They blew up. And then we had to start all over again. And I was looking at Pleasure Way for a long time, but they really make for the Canadian market. So as far as I'm concerned, their battery backup is their big battery backup is only 400 amps. And that doesn't last very long. If you
No.
have AC, if you're down here in the hot part of Texas or whatever, it's like that would last you half a day.
You might want to shut
Yeah.
that door, Gina, by
We
the way,
also,
since we're air conditioning it.
But then Scott Watson talked about Embassy, and once I saw no wood, and you get to choose different things, and the refrigerator was an actual larger refrigerator, not
Yeah.
one of those little,
little teeny tiny.
what do they call those things?
Like a dorm fridge
Dorm fridge, yeah, like a
It's
dorm.
bigger than a dorm
or a
fridge.
cooler chest. Sometimes they have.
Yeah, like cooler
those
chest, yeah. And so they actually made with a real fridge. Ours is the Vitra Frigo, which I think is 5.8 cubic feet, and then
It's
the other
big.
one, what's the other one?
Nova Cool, because we have the Nova
They're
Cool,
like
and it's got a
6.8.
big drawer
Yeah.
for
Freezer
freezer.
drawer, yeah.
It's nice.
So they're like
It's
6.8,
nice.
so they're even bigger. So,
Yeah.
So as opposed to 3 cubic feet for a lot of these, and it's like, yeah, and some of these, it's like 4 people can drive and you can have only 2 people sleep. And it's like, well, then why do you need 4 seats? Where are they going to sleep? And then other ones will have, oh yeah, you can have 3 people in there and 3 people can sleep. And isn't that great? And the fridge is the size of a dorm fridge. And I was like, well, how are they going to eat?
Yeah.
There's just nothing. So the nice thing with the Embassy is big fridge. We can sleep 4, and we have a big fridge, and we have storage where we can actually store
Yeah,
for 4
pantry
people,
things. Yeah.
summer and winter. That does mean we have less windows, because you'll see. So there's big giant windows here, But the reality for us, I don't know about yours, is
Yeah.
basically from
This is the window.
here onwards is cabinets
Yep.
on both sides. So
Right.
you can't see out any of this. Now, a lot of these vans will have a lot more window space. They'll have a big giant kitchen or something, and you'll be able to see out through the window. And it's like great, you can see everything outside. And then you go, well, where do you store your clothes? It's like, well, if we're driving in summer, we'll put summer clothes in. If we're driving in winter, then we'll take everything out and put all the winter clothes in. And I'm like, no. So in our vans, you can pack summer and winter. And for us, for 4 people, you know, I mean, you can't put, 30 pairs of pants and, 50 pairs
Right.
of underwear and what, no, but you can have summer and winter clothing for everybody. And we have the dog. So we have the dog food and the dog toys and the leashes and the medicines for her and whatever else it is. So.
And you know what? On the same trip, you can go places where it's cold and places
Exactly.
where it's hot.
And
Yeah.
we can
You know
just change your clothes and we're fine.
Yeah.
You never have
Yeah.
to worry about it, which we've
And it's
actually done.
It's a 4-season van too.
Right.
It's a 4-season van too.
The amount of
So,
insulation.
yeah, the amount of insulation and the water's on the inside of the van.
Water tanks.
The water tanks. So it is truly a 4-season vehicle. And when we went driving, when we went in the fall, it got down, I think our coldest night was like 15 degrees, but we didn't have to worry
In
about it.
Flagstaff.
In Flagstaff. And it wasn't cold either.
Oh, it was
because we have a
toasty.
heater. And the heater was actually a little toasty. So I'd have to have Jeff make it not as toasty in the middle of the night. It's like, wow, it's almost too warm. And it was 15 degrees outside.
Right.
And you know what? If it's warm enough for you inside the van, it's warm enough not to have your water in the van freeze.
Exactly.
Right. And that's why it's 4-season. Now, if you have the fan off and you don't have the heating on, then it's not 4-season because it's going to get cold in the van. But I've had it got cold here. We just had, amazingly so, in Houston, snow for 4 days. Amazingly so, it lasted 1 day of snow and it lasted 4 days. It got really cold, and I never put the heat on, and it never got below 35 or 36 in the van.
Yeah, the
And for us,
insulation's
that's
extra
like
good. Yeah.
insanely cold for us, and so insulation's really good. So.
Yeah, and the insulation they
And you pay
use
for it,
is airplane insulation, and it doesn't get mold in it. So, which is also another plus, and one of the reasons why we went with an Embassy.
and it's starting to rain. So
Yes.
It's sprinkling on us.
Oh, by the way, Lori Lugo says, that's encouraging. My husband and I will be the same. And it sounds like you guys have so much fun.
Oh my gosh! Seriously, you guys,
We all
I
had
did not want to do this.
She did not.
I did not. For at least 30 of our 35 years of marriage, I said, no, 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 I don't want an RV. And I will tell you, I am having a blast. To me, it reminds me of being a teenager and not having a job when you're like 15 years old and it's summer and you have this big, long summer and every day is, who am I going to play with to have fun? And
I hope it's
where
me.
can I go to have fun? And when you go to these van meetups, it's like a big sleepover, where you're just meeting so many people we had at the Ocala meetup with the Embassy people, there was a big couple handfuls of us that stayed up way late, and we had a campfire going. We were telling stories, and we were old enough. We were all drinking, and it was so much fun under the stars, laughing and having fun. And when the Ocala meetup was done, another one of my favorite RV stories is we went to a drive-in theater that was a Harvest Host. That I don't know, it was somewhere near Ocala. We'll be doing a video about that on our Harvest Host list. And they had where you could sit in your van and watch the movies, but they also had an area where they had food, a seating area with tables and chairs, and you could watch the movie on the big screen. You could hear it because they had speakers all over this patio, and you could sit with your new friends, eating food, watching a movie, and having a great time. And we had a ball because we got to meet these people and really play with them at the meetup. Yeah, and then we got to play with them at the drive-in theater like teenagers. It was so fun. All the laughter and sharing of stories. It just felt like being a kid again. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Tina, say goodbye.
Okay. Bye-bye, Roads of Lives fans, and come check out Anchor Moments. And Anchor Moments RV fans, go ahead and check out Roads of Life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Farewell. So long.
All right, everybody, hold on to your anchor moments and make it a